All right, next up on the Supreme Court decisions, this is personal, okay? This was the state of Texas. So our very own Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. And our legislature's decision to require age verification for pornography websites. And so the Supreme Court sided with Ken Paxton and the state of Texas in a 6-3 decision. You had the usual suspects dissenting. It's Ketanji Brown Jackson, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan. We're like, we really want children to have access to porn. Well, sorry, not here in Texas. And of course, you had Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who I was texting. I was like, can he come on today, please? They said, sorry, he's got a fundraiser that he's doing in that time. And I was like, oh, what a great day for him to have a fundraiser. People be like, okay, how much money do you want? We need you in the Senate. And so the whole argument was obviously that kids have too easy of access to these pornographic websites. And the First Amendment obviously can still limit lewd behavior. I mean, this is the type of thing that we deal with over at Texas Family Project, which, by the way, please sign up to get more information of our newsletters and all of that over at texasfamilyproject.com. We are fighting this still in the state of Texas. As you can see from the decision that we had to go to the Supreme Court to get, as you can see from the videos that we put out, where it's like you don't have the First Amendment does not give you the right to sexualize children. It just doesn't. And so Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the decision, and he said, adults have no First Amendment right to avoid age verification, and the statute can readily be understood as an effort to restrict minors' access. Any burden experienced by adults is therefore only incidental to the statute's regulation of activity that is not protected by the First Amendment. So obviously, you can't be like, oh, I'm an adult. I don't want to have to put in my birthday. I mean, that's all that this is. It's age verification. That's it. And you had Pornhub leave Texas over this because they said they couldn't implement it. They didn't want to, or it was going to be too expensive, whatever they decided. They didn't have enough pornographic videos, I guess, to fund it. And so they're like, we can't possibly do that. That's too restrictive. Really? It's too, you as a company don't want to make sure that children aren't seeing these graphic images and videos? Oh, right. That's right. I forgot. You're a porn company. So what do you care? So we've got a big, big win here. I'm so proud that our state has such a strong attorney general. And it's not just Ken Paxton. It's his entire office. He has so many rock stars working there arguing this case. And now we have this particular decision on the books as well. You may not just give children access to porn because you're too lazy or too evil to put up an age restriction. An age restriction or an age verification should be a bare minimum to this.
Well, what I want to know is if it's such a huge barrier, why is it that we have them on these, restrictions, age restrictions on every gun site you want to go into? Like, yeah,
or beer or anything.
Yeah, and they're not making the kind of money that Pornhub and these other places are. So.
Well, also you can't, what are you going to view there that's going to harm you on these websites?
Yeah, I mean,
if you have a credit card, you could order something, right? Yeah, well, right. Like you can't order a gun without going through background checks.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, their argument is ridiculous. And I do have to say, I love Ken Paxton, man. Again, I wish he was. Every time we say this, though, it means we're going to lose him.
I know.
Which is really.
He is going to win.
He's going to win the Senate.
Yeah.
He is going to win the Senate. But, it would have been great to have him in Pat Bondi's position. I hate to say it.
I feel like there would have been a lot more action and a lot less Fox News hits if we had Ken Paxton as Attorney General.
Yeah, he's a doer, isn't he? I mean, we love his office there. They're terrific. They're rock stars from top to bottom over there. So who's going to replace him is the question.
Yeah, it is. I love him, and I love that he quite frequently, like today, he can't do hits because he's not messing around. He's out there actually working. So anytime that we can actually get him on, I'm always so grateful for the time. It's crazy how you're the Attorney General of an entire country and you have so much time to do so many TV hits. So crazy how that works out.
Like I said, I wasn't fond of her when she was first nominated. Look, I've been talking about Pam Bondi for I don't know how long. But as far as the subject matter, it is one of the more it's a thing that you would believe already would be
in place.
Yes.
But even from the company standpoint, right? Like not from even some government enforced.
Right.
Yes, like you as a company why on
Why would
earth?
you not want
yeah,
to
why
do
why
that?
wouldn't you want some sort of, okay, guys, we don't want minors, okay, on this website. This is strictly for adults, and we'll just do whatever we need to do to put it in place. Look, not everything's going to be just absolutely concrete. There may be some people that are going through very, very great lengths, but we can at least do what we can, right, to ensure that the user base are adults. You shouldn't need the Supreme Court. You shouldn't need the state government. You shouldn't need anybody to tell you to do that. That should be something that's done on your own, right? If you are just
you telling me that porn sites are not moral?
Clearly they are not, and I think that's where you look to when you see something like this. I'm thinking less government, and I'm looking more like, what kind of absolute dickheads do they have running the show over there that they're like that arrogant? And I get it. The people are going to make their argument, be it, I know they, from their perspective, they made the argument for, a lack of privacy. They've made the argument for the expenses that are associated with doing something like this. Is the argument that they're coming from. How exactly, especially with how much has been, I speak on this as a guy who runs our own site. Fuck no, not a porn site, excuse my language. But you get what I'm saying. We have devs and there's all sorts of things that you're always doing that can be automated.
Glad you clarified that.
Right, that it can be automated, right? Well, no, I'm just saying like a high user base.
Yeah.
Not as nearly as high as theirs, but you get what I'm saying. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that to kind of automate a lot of the process that would, it's what was expensive. I'm bringing this up because what was expensive 10 years ago isn't anymore, especially with regards to something like this. There's all sorts of different various applications and stuff that could basically on autopilot. Now, it doesn't require a lot of money and resources for you to implement something. You may have to have some dev work that's going to be involved, but it's going to be ultimately a nothing burger. You're probably going to make that money back in a second, whatever you spent on that dev work that's involved.
If you think about how big Texas is,
right,
and they're just like, no, we're out.
Yeah,
hang on a minute. Economically, that's a crazy decision.
Right, good point.
So it's not about the money.
Yeah, that's a good
point. It can't be about the money.
Yeah, I mean, of course not. But I mean, I think it's exactly what you guys were talking about with the schools.
Exactly.
We want to get them while they're young.
Yeah.
If we get them while they're young, we've got a lifelong porn addict who's going to continue coming back to our website.
And look, man, it's bad. I mean, hell, you can go even on some of these other websites that are like the Instagrams of the world, which are, I mean, some of the stuff that they put out there is borderline. Anyway, like I believe all of these damn sites, as far as I'm concerned, need some sort of age restrictions from X to Instagram to all of it, because
X is one of the worst. Honestly.
Oh, dude, it's
got
bad.
It got worse when Elon took over.
Bad,
yeah,
dude. It is bad. No youngster should be on that site, anywhere near that site, because it's bad. But no, I'm bringing that because you brought up the addiction and where a lot of that some of that stuff starts, because you having these youngsters that are being exposed to this stuff at a very, very, very young age, man, and it's everywhere. Like I said, it's not just on it's a pornographic site. You expect that, but even on these other sites, which are just social media, right? General social media, there's a lot of foul stuff that's out there as well, and that's where your parents, you come in. You've got to do what you can to protect these youngsters, man. And it's even far more difficult than what it was back in the Gap. Like, you have a massive responsibility to try to keep more so you're preserving the innocence of your child, and everything external is kind of working against that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why my 12-year-old is begging me for can I please have a phone? Can I please? And I'm like, no. But all my friends,
so
not
what?
my problem.
Right.
I don't care. I mean, I won't even, his friend, the problem then becomes policing when they're with their friends.
Right.
What do they, and so it's like, he wants to go play outside, and it's like, okay, well, you can go play outside. If one of your friends whips out a phone and wants to play with it, or an iPad or whatever, you got to come back in. And we have games, and it's not like I'm like, oh, go up to your room and do nothing. But I'm like, sorry, but these are my rules. I'm sorry, your friends have bad parents. It's like kind of where I'm at with it. And, I even get some argument from people who, these videos that we put out of just the disgusting stuff stuff that we're finding at these pride festivals or if I'm cursing or whatever, and people are like, oh, you're the vice president of Texas Family Project and you're putting that on social media. I'm like, if you think that children should be on this platform, you're the crazy one, not me.
Right.
I'm not letting my children on this platform. You shouldn't let your children on this platform either. And if you do, that's on you. That's not on me. This is an adult website. Right. What are you doing allowing children access to it?
No, 100%. And I think that, as you know, Sarah, the school that my kids go to,
yeah.
Again, this is what's really frustrating. I just want to bring it back to like Elon Musk coming out and saying, we need bigger families, we need this. The amount of money that it costs you if you want to raise your children in the right way with a big family is colossal, because you can't send them to a regular school. You can't do it. So the school that my kids go to, it's a private school. It's a Christian school, and they have a social contract with the parents, as you know, that says none of the kids there can have social media. That's it.
Yeah.
And they certainly can't take the phones into the school.
Right.
They might have them like, one of my kids has a Gab phone, right? So that we know where they are, because when you're dropping them off here, there, and there, you got to be in contact with them. But unless we start doing this, and again, we go on about this, we talk about participation in elections, we talk about participation in our kids' lives. That's what we need.
Yeah. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.